ठीक है। तो ये जस्ट एक टेक्स्ट फाइल है जो कि नोटपैड में जो दिखता है, ठीक है ना। तो ये इसमें मैंने 10 लाइन लिख दिया है, ठीक है ना। तो अब इसमें सो व्हाट वी विल डू इज फर्स्ट वी गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू जो रैग वो बोला था ना। तो अब जो एलएलएम का सबसे बड़ा इनोवेशन ये था कि यू कैन सर्च द डेटाबेस बाय मीनिंग एंड नॉट बाय कीवर्ड, ठीक है। तो वो मुझे दिखाना है। तो व्हाट आई विल डू, सो मैंने पाइथन का एक स्क्रिप्ट लिखा हुआ है, तो पहले वही मैं तो आई विल फर्स्ट रन इट एंड शो यू हाउ द होल थिंग वर्क्स। सो दीस आर कपल ऑफ लाइंस आउट हियर। सो आई विल डू पाइथन 3 जो कि पाइथन कमांड रन करेगा, एंड देन मैंने एक डेमो कुछ डेमो फाइल बनाया है, तो इसका नाम है demo1_rag.py। ओके, अब मैं इसको रन कर रहा हूं। तो ये बहुत सिंपल काम कर रहा है। ये क्या किया इसने, ये जितना भी लाइन मैंने लिखा हुआ है टेक्स्ट फाइल को, उसने एक एम्बेडिंग बना दिया, एक मैथमेटिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन को एम्बेडिंग बोलते हैं, वो एम्बेडिंग बना दिया। और फॉर दैट आई एम यूजिंग गूगल का एम्बेडिंग स्टैंडर्ड है, जो कि एआई भी जो जिसके बेसिस पे बाद में ओपन एआई ने बनाया था, तो मैं वो यूज कर रहा हूं। And now the program will simply say, now this ask something is a search. जैसे कि पहले डेटाबेस में हम लोग कीवर्ड से सर्च करते थे, now I can ask by meaning। तो मैं मीनिंग में पूछूंगा उसको, tell me about professors, about professor। Okay, so that's my command। Okay, and I have configured it to give me top 5 results। Okay, तो मेरे पास 5 स्टेटमेंट आ गया। मेरे पास करीब 10 लाइन है, उसमें से 5 लाइन आ गया। और सबसे पहला रिजल्ट डॉक्टर टी प्रसाद इज प्रोफेसर इन नीटी, and then it has given me 4 other garbage, okay, 4 other garbage line, but because it has to rank every one of them, and it has given you the top 5, ठीक है। तो अब मैं इसको बोलूंगा, so now I want to understand कि अभी हम we are not using any LLM, we are not using any artificial intelligence, we are only using the representation of data which can scan through the meaning of it. So now we'll ask you, okay, tell me about NITI, about NITI। So now it gets very accurate because now it knows it reads the meaning, and वो processor जहां भी नीति है in your database वो automatically सब उसको scan कर लेगा। Now I have added just one line, okay, which links NITI to IIM Mumbai। तो मैंने अब ये कहा कि NITI is now IIM Mumbai। तो अब मैं बोलूंगा कि tell me about IIM Mumbai। Now notice that IIM Mumbai has been mentioned only once in one line, and NITI has been mentioned multiple times। But since I have linked NITI to IIM Mumbai, if I query on IIM Mumbai, it will automatically give you the results from NITI as well. Okay, so now we'll do that. Okay, so tell me about IIM Mumbai। Okay, so now it has automatically found out all the connections। Okay, NITI is IIM Mumbai, और IIM में IIM था, उसने वहां से राजेश अग्रवाल का निकाल लिया। फिर NITI के बारे में NITI IIM6 is a stellar batch in NITI, and in 2001 NITI has industrial engineering and industrial management, ये सब निकाल लिया, ठीक है। So this is the first innovation that had to go before LLMs could come, that you could search out of meaning। Okay, और इसको basically this is called embedding, or this whole thing is called so right now I am not doing augmented generation, but I'm retrieving just the data on the basis of meaning, and this is the first innovation out here। So now I'm going to take you little bit to the code। The code is very simple, okay, इसको समझना नहीं है, but I'll just take you how small this code is, okay। And I will come out of this program and I will do cat demo1_rag.py। okay, तो मैं ये 10 लाइन के कमांड में, okay, ये सिर्फ पाइथन का कमांड है। So by using something called sentence transformer, which is what it has done, it has converted the text into transformer. It has been able to generate all of this, okay। So now this is the first, okay, so that's the first concept, okay। This one concept is called retrieval of RAG। So you have to retrieve the data that you have by meaning, but not by keywords। So that's the first innovation, okay। Is everyone listening? Is everyone following? Are you there?
थोड़ा बाउंसर है, बट लगे रहो।
नहीं, ये इतना समय कि आप मीनिंग से निकाल रहे हैं, डेटाबेस को क्वेरी कर रहे हैं, आप कीवर्ड से नहीं खोल। टिल नाउ ऑल द क्वेरीज वी हैव डन इज बाय कीवर्ड्स, राइट। तो अब हम कीवर्ड से नहीं कर रहे हैं, मीनिंग से कर रहे हैं। ये क्लियर हुआ, ये आइडिया?
हाँ, इतना क्लियर हुआ।
हाँ कि अब आपको मीनिंग से करना है, और मीनिंग अब क्योंकि IIM6 को उसने निकाल दिया, IIM6 इज NITI, और उससे वो IM6 के बारे में आपने पूछा, वो नीति का सब निकाल दिया, क्योंकि मैंने उसको एक लाइन लिख दिया था दैट नीति इज नाउ IM6। ठीक है,
पांडे जी,
so that's the first concept. This concept is called RAG.
हाँ देखिए समझ में आया, ठीक है।
ठीक है,
नहीं पांडे जी, इस क्लास के बाद अपने नोट्स भेज देना, सबके लिए बहुत अच्छा रहेगा।
अरे कहाँ
ठीक है। अच्छा, लेकिन अब क्या है कि now the difference between LLM and AI agent, कि LLM can give you any amount of knowledge. So LLM is compressed. So what LLM basically does is it predicts the next word given a sequence of sentences. ठीक है, तो अगर आपने एक सेंटेंस लिया है, उसको मीनिंग मालूम है, उस मीनिंग में it simply what it does, it tries to give you the next word and then that next word becomes the part of the entire story, and उसके बाद it finds another next word, and this next word becomes the entire part of story, and then it gives another next word, और ऐसे करते करते it turned out that it is giving you the full human intelligence, and that's how we are able to get intelligence. Okay, is by predicting next word. So now we're going to so I'm going to do the first installation, and this installation is called Ollama. और Ollama क्या करता है कि if you go to your site ollama.com, okay, तो I'll just write it here.
Ollama is Facebook, right?
Ollama is Facebook. Yeah. So go to that site ollama.com, क्योंकि I can only show you right now on the screen. तो ये बहुत खतरनाक चीज है. Okay, so I'll show you how dangerous this is. Okay, so I will so you can download it, and all of it's very simple. Okay, एक बार download करके you have, so what I will do is OLLAMA Ollama, and then I will do run. Okay, and then I have a model which is called sorry. Yeah, one sec. Yeah, just one sec.
तो तूने लोकली ओलामा इंस्टॉल किया हुआ है?
हाँ, और उसमें मैंने एक LLM डाल दिया इसमें, ठीक है ना, वो कोई भी कर सकता है, इट्स वेरी सिंपल थिंग. ओके,
क्या व्हाट इज ओलामा एंड व्हाट डज इट डू?
सो व्हाट ओलामा डज इज, जो भी LLM अभी आपको LLM बाहर लोडेड है ना, इट्स लोडेड ऑन सम फॉरेन सर्वर, करेक्ट, ऑन सम मशीन विद गूगल एंड जेमिनाई और ओपनएआई. ठीक है, so what you want to do is you want to in heavy task you want to run the model in your own machine. ठीक है, so that you can do basic tasks. क्योंकि हमारा जो काम है, मोस्ट ऑफ द काम एजेंट में आपको बेसिक काम ही जरूरत पड़ता है. एडवांस काम के लिए you can go to those servers, लेकिन you want to do most of the basic things locally itself. ठीक है, so what you want to do is you want to be able to run the entire LLM on your local laptop. तो उसके लिए ओलामा लगता है. ओलामा इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. ये बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन आया फ्रॉम मेटा कि यू सिंपली इंस्टॉल इट एंड इट कैन डायरेक्टली, जो भी मॉडल रिलीज करते हैं लोग, तो यू कैन डायरेक्टली रन डायरेक्टली ऑन टू योर लोकल लैपटॉप. ठीक है, तो
सॉरी Tripathi, just one thing. Sorry. So one is you want to do some massaging of files locally or whatever, but the other thing, the other use case which I had to do to one in RMX when I was and for a client was payroll variance, which is one of the agents. So payroll variance is the confidential file. People, even after masking, they don't want it to go out because even if it may not say that Pandey earns these many millions, it still shows ki us company ka the payroll bill is about 50 million, you know, and which they don't want. So uske liye I implemented offline agents. So these are Ollama is, you can connect it to online agents as well, but Ollama is command line interface for offline agents. These agents will work on your local machine. ठीक है, and these will be obviously अभी तक मतलब जो maximum है, they are 21 billion or I think 32 billion.
No, you can run everything. जितना कैपेसिटी है, अगर if your laptop is powerful enough, it can run everything. Okay, जो भी रिलीज हुआ है.
नहीं, but अभी तक उन्होंने रिलीज किया 32 बिलियन वाले रिलीज है, 32 बिलियन पैरामीटर्स वाला रिलीज है, ट्रिलियन पैरामीटर्स अभी रिलीज किया ऑफलाइन.
अगर किसी ने रिलीज कर दिया, I mean some Chinese people have done on
it's an infrastructure challenge. It's infrastructure change.
Okay,
So
so I just want to show you.
and
So I just want to show you how the whole thing works. Okay, so मैंने सिर्फ एक command run किया, and the command is exactly the same in all platforms, whether it is Mac or it is Windows. आपको Ollama install करना है, and you have to say Ollama run and the name of the model. And the model I'm running right now is 5.3 mini, क्योंकि सिर्फ 1 GB का है वो. But that 2 GB, it's 2 GB, and it's very very powerful. और उसमें it can run the whole LLM locally. So what I will do now, I will say what is the capital of Australia. Okay, so and this is not coming from a server. It's coming directly from my laptop. Okay, वो अपना निकाल लिया. Okay, capital of Australia is Canberra. It was chosen as a compromise between rival Sydney and Melbourne वगैरह वगैरह. पूरा स्टोरी बता देगा वो. ठीक है. और ये now the whole LLM is now working on my local laptop. और ये पुराना लैपटॉप है, 2017 का लैपटॉप है. And this whole 5.3 मॉडल है वो 2 GB का है. तो Ollama can itself run the whole thing is running out here. ठीक है. So I first explained you RAG, now I explained you Ollama that you can run LLM, local LLM into your local machine. Okay, so now what you want to do is जो भी data वो निकाल सकता है आपके local database से और local file से. In our case we have data.txt, but now the problem right now is it is giving you 5 different outputs. Okay, so you want so the reason why we need an agent is agent can automate running actions on your own laptop. So suppose I am a YouTube maker and I want to modify my videos, I want to add subtitles, I want to cut, I want to edit, I want to merge. So video editing is very, very hard task right now. And I can ask the agent to automatically do all those things for me just by simple English language, to run those tools in English language. तो उसके लिए you need to do certain things on the local machine and you have to run the tools on the local machine. और जो आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, for that you have to refer to an LLM and ask the brains outside to remove the confusion basically. ठीक है. So that's the whole thing, that's the whole design out here. So I'm going to come out of Ollama right now and उसका command is /by. So मैं Ollama से मैं बाहर आ गया. So now there's a problem. The problem is how do you make sure that your database is always giving you the exact same command that you should always run and it should not change, it should not be subject to hallucination. So uske liye they came up with a solution and the solution is called MCP. So now I am going to do the same. I did give you a demo one. I'm going to give you a demo 2 of MCP first. Look at the demo and then you will understand how it adds up to into LLM. Okay, so now what I will do is again I will run Python 3 demo 2.mcp. ठीक है. तो मैं बोलूंगा तो अब MCP क्या करता है? It will take. Okay, now MCP needs exact sentences, exact format. So I have created 3 tools. One will tell you the weather, second will tell you the time, third will tell you balance of someone account. Okay, in blockchain. ठीक है. So सबसे पहले I'll ask tell me weather Delhi. Okay, so you said weather in Delhi is 32 degrees C and sunny. Okay, now this is the tool. Okay, the tool goes, you just tell it. So now if I write Delhi weather, अब वो मर जाएगा. Okay, unknown.
Your screen फिर नहीं दिख रही है. I don't know what is happening.
फिर से नहीं दिख रहा screen.
Sorry, Delhi weather क्यों नहीं pick कर रहा?
Pankaj, you'll have to come on your web, yeah. On mobile, I think there's a challenge.
Delhi weather क्यों नहीं ले रहा है वो?
क्योंकि MCP है ना, MCP वो exact command चाहिए उसको.
Okay, तो उसको तो already feed कर चुका है कि मैं ऐसे दूंगा command.
हाँ, तो उसका तो the way MCP has been designed कि वो exact MCP में it has to follow the format.
समझ गया.
ठीक है. तो अब तू बोलेगा weather मुंबई, तो ये क्या करता है कि सेकंड कीवर्ड्स को सिटी समझ लेता है, तो उसको वेदर मुंबई इज 32 एंड सनी. तो मैंने फिक्स फॉर्मेट किया हुआ है. आई विल शो यू द कोड आल्सो हाउ द होल कोड वर्क्स. ठीक है. तो व्हेन यू डू MCP, so MCP is a protocol which tells you how different essentially how different agentic systems can talk to each other, but it has to be precise. You cannot change the order, you cannot change whatever semantics, whatever is being asked, it has to be given exactly the same. Okay, that's the only way you will get deterministic behavior. Okay, so now we have 2 layers. The first layer is the RAG layer. RAG layer where you can change the meaning, and then you have the MCP layer where you cannot change the meaning. Okay, so I'm going to show you the MCP file कि वो MCP कर कैसा रहा है, ठीक है ना? So let me show it to you. So I will do cat.
So Tripathi ji, while you pull up that file, I have a very basic question. Why should I use MCP where I have to use exact here? Why don't I use something which is where I just use common language, generic stuff?
Because you're not working alone, right? You are working with 10,000 people, and they have to coordinate actions among themselves. It's like a language. So if you are doing something totally on your local machine, then you can totally go on your own and you don't need any standard. Then you can yourself create your own single thing. But if you want to talk to 50 different people so that they can collaborate, किसी का काम किसी ने किया, then you have to invent a protocol of language so that everyone knows what everyone means.
But
that's why we need it.
So Tripathi, I think, so just to, what Tripathi is saying is technically correct, but I think practically speaking, Pandey, you don't need MCP to work.
Correct.
We are talking, this is basically going in a scenario where a lot of people are working on the agentic ecosystem, and they all have access to agents, and they are all collaborating and everything. So, and they are all sharing information. But if you are running tasks within, you could just have agents. Like, for example, I host agents for clients. They access it via that portal. That portal talks to their database. Okay? Yes, I've implemented MCP, but if they're only using one agent, they don't need. I could implement, like, for example, for the clients that I've implemented agents at their premises, I've not implemented MCP because that's a very, like, patent application, let alone giving access to me. They don't want even give access within their own organization. So that's installed for 2 people in the internet, and it is only given access to those 2 people. They don't need MCP, but MCP is the future. It's like you'll be working on islands. Now, what Tripathi is saying, and I think where the world is moving, is that we will. Okay, let me take a step back. I think the important concept here is that I feel the system of record, like the ERP systems, consignment systems, CRMs, etc., they will stay as consolidated database, because you need to have a consolidated database or a system where if you post a journal entry, it goes into the right ledger and it just impacts the right accounts, right? It's a consolidated system. But the system of interaction is going to change to agents. It's not going to be your screens of the applications anymore. That was the whole basis, whole premise behind the SaaSocalypse that we saw. It's not all gas. That is exactly what those companies realized. Now, to make sure that that system of interaction works across multiple people, if it's just extracting reports, it's not a problem. But imagine in a year's time, 2 years' time, when people are feeding in information, they're actually training, because the agents are supposed to be learning from your information and improving their queries. Now, if that is happening across the organization, you need an MCP. It's that. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So, okay. So basically, so let's look at the code of this. So ये code क्या करता है कि input पढ़ता है और input में देखता है कि whether, again, it is starting from the word whether, it will take the second letter and it will imagine that is a city and it will call a tool. Okay. और वो टूल फाइल एक और फाइल है, मैं दिखाऊंगा, इसका बैकएंड है, तो वो बैकएंड में कॉल करेगा और बोलेगा कि डू दिस फॉर एग्जीक्यूट द टूल, एंड दैट कॉल टूल का कमांड में वेदर एंड इट विल गिव द सिटी नेम. एंड देन आई हैव गॉट 2 more commands. One command is balance and user and another command is just time. तो अब so let's do those 2 others as well. तो अब मैं बोलूंगा इसको, जस्ट बोलूंगा टाइम. ओके, जस्ट सिंगल वर्ड. ओके, बोला current time is 10:30 AM. Okay, so it will always is a fixed time. I'll show you that code also. So it's always says this. और मैं बोलूंगा balance. So balance Pandey ji. Okay, Pandey ji has 200 tokens. ठीक है. So if I say Pandey ji balance, क्या होगा? Unknown command. क्योंकि MCP needs exact formats. Okay, so it really needs balance Pandey ji. First has to be balance and second has to be name out here. Okay, So this is MCP, okay? Ki MCP mein you need exactly the same formats as you would that will work. Now I'll show you the actual tools, okay? Ki just tool file jo hai. So I've created this core MCP core मैंने एक बनाया वहाँ पे. So I'll do again cat MCP underscore core dot py. Okay. तो अब ये क्या कर रहा है कि ये इसने तो आई हैव क्रिएटेड डमी टूल्स हियर, ओके. और उस डमी टूल में तीन फंक्शन बनाया है. फर्स्ट इज गेट वेदर, सेकंड इज गेट बैलेंस एंड थर्ड इज गेट टाइम. जब वो गेट टाइम रन करेगा हमेशा वो रिटर्न फिक्स रिटर्न करेगा. करंट टाइम इज 10:30 AM. सो इट्स अ वेरी डमी थिंग, but you can run anything. You can run a video file, you can start Microsoft, whatever, you could Office, PPT, any tool that runs on laptop you can use. You can start using this. So I'm just giving you a very basic demo taki you get the full picture in this, how the whole thing is coming together. Okay. And then I said that if you see the first word is weather, then call get weather. If the first word is balance, get balance. Okay. The first word is time, get time. And get time is, this is the function. It's whenever someone calls get time, it will simply give you the current time is 10:30 AM. Okay. So this is all it took. It took like 10 lines to create an MCP. The full MCP has been created out here. Okay. And but now we have a problem. Okay. The problem is RAG gives you a flexible input. Input formats can change, whereas MCP expects exactly the same thing, and you have to solve this problem. Okay. So for that, what we have to do for that, we have to first modify our RAG section in such a way that it gives you only one answer, and that answer has to be highly accurate. Okay, so let's try that. I've created a demo for that also.
I think we'll try to wrap up in 15.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
I think we can do more sessions, थोड़ा focused, घंटे का एक topic लेके.
Right. ठीक है. So now what I've done is I've created. So now जो पहला हमने RAG बनाया था जो 5 answers आ रहा था. Now I'm returning only one answer or one best answer. Okay, so now I'll say ask. Tell me about I am Mumbai. So it tells you only one answer. Okay, NITI is now I am Mumbai. Okay, and the way it has been achieved is very simple. It's exactly the same code as the earlier one, but you are only giving the top result. वहाँ पे मैं top 5 दे रहा था, यहाँ पे मैं top result दे रहा हूँ. So top is the highest match. Okay, so I'll say tell me about T Prasad. Tell me about a professor. Tell me about a professor. So Dr. T Prasad is a professor in NITI. Okay, exactly the same file, and I have done this. Okay, so we will just see. This file also. So this is exactly the same file, और वहाँ पे can you see this highlight screen में आया क्या जो मैंने किया? तो उस लाइन में मैंने लास्ट में वहाँ पे 5 था, 5 को मैंने 1 कर दिया था. That's the only change I have made here. Okay. ठीक है. तो that was giving the best result. So now I have found a way to give me not 5 answers, but only give me one answer. And now my next task is that one answer has to be accurate. So for that, what we'll do is very simple. We'll change our data file essentially. Okay. So so now I'm creating another data file. Okay, and this data file mein, for simplification, I've written 3 lines only. Okay, weather Delhi, balance Dusyat, and time, and all of these 3 are valid commands. Okay, and now if I use my RAG in any combination of meaning word, I can always go to this database and make the RAG pick one of them which is closest to the meaning. Okay, and then I can use the MCP to run the tool. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do now. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run demo 4, which we'll see all of them coming together. So last, naturally, anything about weather? And it straight away picked up Weather Delhi because first my database has only 3 lines. There's one line about weather, second line is about balance, and the third line is about time. And so now if I say okay, and it automatically picked up the command that you want to run is Weather Delhi, and it automatically executed it, and it said weather in Delhi is 32° and sunny. Now, if I don't have to be weather, it can be climate also. Okay, tell me about climate. Anything about climate? Because it's a similar word. Okay. And again, you get the same thing because climate, the closest match to climate is weather. And there's only one line in your RAG database which is linked to weather, which is Weather Delhi. And Weather Delhi is a valid command in the tool, and the Weather Delhi is getting executed. And now we can also ask, tell me accounts. Okay, so it could not find out. So I just say, okay, because I didn't give it. Tell me. Okay, there's an issue here. Tell me accounts. I have to give a name. Dushyant. I think that's the name we had. Okay, so tell me accounts Dushyant, and so it found out. Okay, there's one line which matches, which is balance Dushyant, and Dushyant has 12 tokens. And if I just say if I just write Dushyant, that is enough for it to know that there's only one command that it has to pick up. And if I can say you anything about chronology, so it picked up. If you say chronology, it automatically picked up time because of and then it said the current time is 10:30 AM. Okay, so this is how you convert a specific command that has to go into a tool into a general meaning framework. Okay.
और ये इसके नीचे में llama ही work कर रहा है?
नहीं, इसमें कोई llama नहीं है. अभी I'm not even got into. There's no llama here. It's all simple local code. Okay, इसमें कोई LLM नहीं है. All of this is without LLM right now.
तो जब वो weather return कर रहा है, वो कैसे कर रहा है?
Because of the embedding. So that's the innovation, right? So जो embedding किया हुआ है. So the way you represent the data is in terms of it's in the meaning space. Okay, so the weather का जो representation है और climate का जो representation है, they're all together in the meaning space together. And from that meaning space, it simply searches the database and gives you exactly one result which is closest to that meaning. And from there you get that line Weather Delhi.
तो ये real time नहीं है क्या?
ये real time है. नहीं, real time मतलब local है पूरा ये. मतलब real time in my local machine.
Let me just try, Raju. It is referring to a file, consolidated file, which is stored as a text file on the local computer. Okay? This is exactly same as the RAG I created with Notebook LM for all the policies and procedures. Okay? It had why I had given it index because each policy and procedure is a huge document, 50-page document, right?
तो weather का data रोहित ने डाला हुआ है पहले से.
नहीं, मैंने सिर्फ
sorry.
Okay, मैंने सिर्फ 3 लाइन डाला है, ठीक है ना? This is my full database. Okay, Weather Delhi, balance Dushyant and time. Okay, this is my core database.
But 32 degrees कहाँ से मिल रहा है उसको?
वो MCP से आया ना, तो उसका मैंने MCP फाइल बनाया था ना मैंने, तो I'll just show you cat MCP.
तो वो MCP फाइल कहाँ से खींच रहा है?
वो मैंने बनाया है ना, मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है, इसे मैंने कुछ खींचा नहीं, सब बनाया. यहाँ पे लिखा ना, मैं Weather in Delhi 32 and sunny लिखा ना मैंने यहाँ पे. ये मैंने जो MCP बनाया, जो मैंने टूल बनाया, टूल का रिस्पॉन्स ही वो है.
ऑलरेडी बनाया. ओके समझ गया.
टूल बनाया था.
ओके.
तो मेरा एक बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है इस ट्रिप्स की, ये जो भी तुम क्वेरी कर रहे हो, ठीक है, it is picking up from some data, some set of data which is already existing somewhere, right? And
that set of data is this text file, 3-line text file.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, data in a text file which
Yes.
you have created.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Right. So my very simple question is, ki boss, if I have to ask something from what I have only created, and I presume this text file has been created by you,
Yes.
okay, then how is it of use to me? मतलब मैं इसका क्या करूं? I'm being
नहीं मतलब वही है ना टीम
देखो, see what you want is कि आप अंग्रेजी के किसी भाषा में आप कुछ भी बोलें, okay, and it should do exactly the thing it is supposed to do.
So for example, Pandit ji, for example, अगर आप अपना AIS डाल के रखते हो इसमें,
ठीक है,
तो आप अपनी क्वेरीज उसी हिसाब से पूछ सकते हो, या अगर आपने क्रेडिट कार्ड स्टेटमेंट डाला हुआ है सारे, ओके, तो यू कैन आस्क मैंने क्या फिजूल खर्चा किया है, एंड यू आर डिफाइनिंग द फिजूल इन द MCP.
नहीं, तो मेरा I got that. I am only trying to now, honestly, and this is a very मतलब open and I am trying to figure out that, boss, should I see all these things that you said, okay, Raju, ये जो तुमने बताया, so the way I look at the last 2.5 hours or 2 hours 15 minutes is, part 1 DK, part 1 trips. I'm thinking all of this can be done, जो DK बताया ना, which I personally thought was much simpler. So why should, what is my, as a common man or as a person who's getting into AI to solve or to address some of his day-to-day problems or whatever, कुछ analysis करने के लिए, जो भी करने के लिए, what is the difference in what DK taught and what Trips taught?
No, so I'm giving a
where and which one?
Yeah, Pandit ji.
And because last statement, because, and why I'm saying is, no offense meant to the platform or to what we learned. I personally believe that ट्रिप्स ने जो सिखाया उसके लिए मतलब दिमाग चाहिए, उसमें आसान नहीं है, वर्सेस जो डीके ने सिखाया इज रिलेटिवली इजी, कि भाई 3-4 फाइल है वो बना दो, पीछे में डेटा डालो और चलेगा, मतलब मेरे हिसाब से दैट्स व्हाट आई अंडरस्टूड दैट टाइम.
नहीं, जो मैंने बताया आपको कभी यूज नहीं करना, आपको यूज कभी नहीं करना, जो मैंने बताया आपको खाली ये
है, कैट है, फैट है, सब इतना सब है, उधर तो कुछ नहीं है ना. दैट्स द क्वेश्चन. पुटिंग इट वेरी सिंपली,
Correct. So I'm explaining. See what I'm explaining.
अगर तुमने देखा होगा, जैसा ही त्रिपाठी चालू किया और कोई पूछ रहा है ये आएगा किधर से, स्क्रीन किधर है, किधर डालेंगे, ये आया, you're getting the point. So that's my only, I'm trying to compare that, how is or where would this be more useful and where would that be more useful. That's I'm not
so,
in the
so this is if you want to understand, going under the hood as to how what AI world is doing today. So AI world is doing only 3 things. Number 1, LLM. Okay. Second is AI agents, and third is infrastructure for connecting agents into LLM.
Okay.
Only 3 things are happening: LLM, AI agents, and infrastructure of connecting agents to LLM.
Okay.
So what I showed you is a full running version. Okay, जो कि Google ने full scale पे किया है Gemini में.
Okay.
And what I'm showing you is in 10 lines what exactly Gemini is doing, except at a higher infrastructure level. Okay, so that you understand. Just for understanding.
I'm reading Saket's comment, and I think that explains it very well. Is that what Rohit sir showed is how the back end works. What Dushyant sir showed is how the front end works. Okay, that probably explains it very well. Okay,
perfect. Okay, so this was